Hello and welcome to the weekly Global Heartstream. I'm Gabriel Gonzalez, a professional coach, artist, and speaker who enjoys traveling the world, connecting with amazing people, and talking about the longest, most rewarding journey that you'll ever embark on, the 12-inch journey between your head and your heart. Through individual and group coaching programs, online courses, and live seminars, I teach a heart-centered approach to personal mastery, leadership development, and spiritual growth that helps people become the most loving, joyful, and powerful version of themselves. The Global Heartstream is a weekly dedicated space to help you reconnect with your heart, raise your vibrational frequency, and remind you just how powerful, loving, and amazing you already are. It's also an invitation to unify our hearts with the intention of bringing more love, compassion, and healing to a world that so desperately needs it. You can find out more about my work by visiting gabrielgonzalez.com, where you can also sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, and register for my upcoming seminars. And if you enjoy this Heartstream, please be sure to subscribe, like, or comment so that we can reach more people and help make this a more loving, compassionate, and heart-centered world. Hello and welcome to the Global Heartstream. I'm your host, Gabriel Gonzalez, broadcasting live this Wednesday, the 18th of January. And today we're talking about the 9 laws of heart leadership. We continue on this month of heart leadership. We've been, during this entire month, exploring what it means to be a person who follows their heart and helps other people follow theirs. Welcome, Ellen. Welcome, Veronica. Welcome, Philip. Welcome, those of you who are joining us right now. How are you? Hello, Cindy from Alabama. Let me ask you a question as we begin today's broadcast. What book entirely changed you or helped you embark on a new direction in life? You know, in all of our lives, I believe that there's a book that comes our way. Sometimes when we were not even looking for it, that for whatever reason opens you to new possibilities. And as a result, you start making some very powerful decisions about what to do, who do you want to be, or moving to a different place, etc. I think for me, that book was without a doubt A Road Less Traveled by Scott Peck. I mean, there's been different books. I'm having a book right now that I'm rereading, and it's doing that. But I remember that I was in my late 20s when I read A Road Less Traveled. And it opened me to a new possibility with regards to love. I had this very, very archaic, limited version of what love was. And this is the book that opened me up to begin to see love as something very different that I had been programmed or believed it to be. So what is that book for you? I'd love it if you could share it. This is an opportunity to share books that you are passionate about or that have made a big shift in your life, change your life direction. Because remember that ultimately this topic that we've been addressing and I call leadership is ultimately all about direction, the direction you're choosing to follow in your life. Welcome, Danny. Welcome, Najad, who are joining us now. Welcome, John. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody. All right. Well, you're typing in the book that had the biggest impact in your life. Let me remind you that the Heart Start 2023 free guide is still available. Will continue to be available as a free download. My gift from me to you, from my heart to yours, to help you not only consciously complete this past year, the year that we just wrapped up, but also really tune in into the depth of your heart and ask yourself a very fundamental question. What would you love to create in 2023? So We are having the Chinese New Year coming up very soon. For me, very often it feels like that's the real beginning of the new year. I think the Chinese got it right. Because let's face it, with the holidays around us and all the pressure, sorry, of going out, being social, gift giving, and all that kind of stuff, sometimes it's very easy to forget about oneself. So this month of February, here still in the midst of winter in the Northern Hemisphere, gives us that beautiful opportunity. So the guide is available as a free download if you visit my website or check out the link that's under the description of this video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this weekly show so that you can receive notifications. And if you find these Heartstreams and my videos and guided meditations useful and you would like to express your gratitude, I welcome your supporting donations. You can also find the links to do that in the description area below. And then finally, if you feel like you'd like to go deeper in this work with me, there are 3 ways that you can do that. One of them is enrolling in the upcoming Heart Leader training program. This is my yearly certification training program in heart intelligence coaching, small group facilitation, and transformational leadership. Or you can sign up in the introductory training called Heart Mastery, or the intermediate training called Heart Warrior. Okay, information about all these programs, again, are on my website, gabrielgonzalez.com. All right, so we got 2 books here that are being mentioned. Simona is speaking about a book called The Gnosis and the Law. I never heard of that book, Simona. I'm now very curious. The Gnosis and the Law. Is it about Christian mysticism? I'd be curious to know. Wonder who the author of it is as well. Ellen speaking about The Wisdom of White Eagle. Yeah, I'm quite familiar with that book or that body of work. When I first arrived in South Africa at the Novalis Ubuntu Institute, where I used to volunteer, there was a meeting every week of the White Eagle lodged, and they discuss the ancient wisdom that was expressed through this series of channelings. Okay, that's wonderful. All right, so without further ado, let's dive into what these 9 laws are and explore each one of them. We have obviously very limited amount of time because during the second part of these gatherings, we do a guided meditation. And so what I want to do in this next 15, 20 minutes or so is just tell you about these 9 laws that are my way of synthesizing or summarizing what I learn along the journey of becoming a coach, small group facilitator, and a training in this area of heart-centered transformational leadership. And these are things that I can tell you, they're not things that came from a book, even though I did have information from many books that guided me along my journey. Mentorship of amazing wisdom teachers, wisdom guides. But they really came as a way for me to summarize or synthesize, as I said, what I had learned along the journey of becoming the person that I now am. So in case you missed the past couple of series, we've been defining a heart leader as somebody who follows their heart and in essence is helping other people follow their hearts. Okay. Another definition is someone who coaches, guides, and supports other people through their personal transformation from a place of compassion, courage, kindness, and love. And so more than something that you are or you become, I want you to think of this idea of heart leadership as an awareness, a way of being in the world, right? That results when you make the decision to master 9 essential skills. And these 9 essential skills, they are intimately related to these 9 laws. In fact, each law summarizes what that skill ultimately is about. We spoke about this stage of the leader as being the stage that you begin to move into, when you initiate the journey towards our heart. Okay, when you wake up to your heart, wake up to this awareness of interconnectedness with all of life, and then eventually move into this next stage of the spirit or the warrior. Yes, this is spiritual warrior stage where we begin to let more light in. The more light and love that gets in, the more that light and love summons all the darkness within us and all the unlovingness within us so that it can be healed. That's why we call it a heart warrior. And that's why a lot of these battles are ultimately fought and won or lost in the heart. And then as a result of this healing or the stage of cleaning up, this is the name that Ken Wilber gives this stage. Then we begin to rise up. And then we realize that as we have become a better version of ourselves, better human beings, we have this debt towards life. We feel compelled to share what we have learned to support other people who are still walking this journey. That's what our beloved big brother Jesus basically did in every major avatar or bodhisattva who's walked this path. They decided to stay here and to continue to support people who are walking this path. Now, if you want to find out where you are along this 3 or 4 stages, rather, um, you can take a quiz that is available on my website. It's called the Heart Mastery Quiz. And by answering 10 key questions, you will be able to know exactly where you are at this moment on this heart awakening journey or heart mastery journey. And so, again, the idea then is to understand that this thing that we're calling heart leadership is more than something you do or something that you become. It's a way of being. It's a way of being that is loving, that is courageous, that is kind, that is compassionate. And as a result, it begins to send you in a new direction. And as a result, it allows you then to support other people who desire to walk on that same direction. So let's see, there's some more books that came up. Okay, Cindy's Heart is sharing The Wind is My Mother. Wow, I'm not familiar with that book. Cindy, who is the author of that book? And John Stiley is sharing the Bible Until I Read the Power of Now. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's really powerful. It's like the power of ancient wisdom and then the power of the wisdom that is available to you now when you start tuning into the present moment and the ultimate reality that lives within you. That's great. All right, so let's dive into these 9 laws. Hello, Priya from Mauritius. Oh my God, that's one place I really want to visit someday. I have a very good friend in South Africa, Claire, that always says that God lives in Mauritius because the country is so beautiful. Nature, the wildness, the pristineness of the land is so beautiful. That's what she used to say. So I think it's one of my biggest regrets of the years that I lived in South Africa that I never got to visit Mauritius. So still in my yeah, it's still in my bucket list, my to-do list. I was so close to Mauritius. All right, so let's go through these 9 laws. All right, so first law, I call it the law of following. And this does come directly from the book A Course of Love by Mary Perron, that I know it's a book that transforms and changes people's lives like A Course in Miracle does. In fact, it is inspired by the same source as A Course in Miracles, and it's a book about the heart. And it's a book about what it means to live in the world from a state of wholeheartedness. I had to slow down to say that one. And or basically from this state of a united heart and mind. And so, and the book says in the very opening chapters, a true leader must first learn to follow before he or she is ready to lead. So it speaks to the importance of learning to connect, tune, and begin to follow your heart. And so it is this connecting with the heart that allows you then to make new choices and to embark in a new direction. And it is this journey, this movement towards this new direction, whatever that may be for you, that begins to turn you into a leader. So remember that leadership is a function of direction. It has nothing to do with like telling people what to do. Okay, so this is the beginning. It begins there. It's a law of following. Okay, before you can lead others, you must learn to follow. And of course, this applies to anything. I'm watching a really fascinating television series right now on Hulu called The Bear. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the series, but it's about just this chef in Chicago who takes over his brother's restaurant after his brother commits suicide, and he takes this small Italian beef restaurant and turns it into an amazing restaurant. And one of the ways he does that is by training his staff in the ways normally like a modern or a highly specialized cuisine restaurant would do it with a team. And so you see there that everybody there wants to be a leader, and the way they do that is by learning how to follow his example. This is why we can say, or I can say, that Jesus the Christ, to me, is probably the ultimate heart leader. Set up a very, very specific pathway and example for us to live and to walk into his footsteps. That's what, in essence, I believe it means to walk in his footsteps, to follow in his own nature. So that's the law of following. Let's go to the next one. The next one is called the law of creation. And this has to do with how we manifest our realities. Okay, it simply says our physical realities are a reflection of what we hold in our minds, feel in our hearts, speak into our world, and act upon. So this speaks about the importance of what I call the four powers of manifestation. Okay, using the power of our creative imagination, the power of our spoken word, the power of feeling and emotion, and then the power of action. Okay, don't forget that what creates that link between the world of the unseen and the world of the seen is movement in action. So it's not enough that you visualize and imagine and speak the affirmations, okay, and that you feel it in your heart and feel good. If you do all of that, but there's no action, okay, things are just not going to manifest. So get your ass moving. Make that phone call. Act with inspiration, whatever it is that you feel called to do. Okay, don't sit down on your meditation couch hoping that the Rolex or the Porsche or the soulmate is just going to come knocking at your door. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. It's certainly, there are exceptions. You know, it has happened with people. I remember hearing one time one of my mentors, trying to remember her name right now. Oh gosh, Kathleen. I can't remember right now. I can't believe I can't remember right now. But she teaches people how to attract their soulmates. And she was sharing a story in one of her workshops about how one of her clients, somebody had literally crashed into her front yard, into a tree in her front yard. And she ended up dating this guy and ended up marrying him. So somebody could come, basically have a crash on your front door, but don't wait for that. So you want to win the lottery? Buy the ticket. Please do that. Okay, so let's move to the next law. The next law is the law of mastery. Okay, this was the topic of last month. If you recall, we began to speak about the journey of heart mastery. And so remember that when we're talking about mastery, it's not about becoming the best or very good at something. It really has to do more with an attitude towards life where you use everything to learn from. So this law says every master was first a disaster, teaching others what he or she most needed to learn. Okay, so if you're embarking on this path of mastery or heart leadership or whatever that path it is, understand that it's all about learning. Okay. And that learning requires time. And when you begin to let go of the need of this desire for instant gratification, and when you begin to just continue to walk this path and use everything for your learning, and then you begin to share with others what you've been learning or what you most need to learn, all right, this is what eventually will get you or other people to call you a master at something. But it's because you walked the path. Okay, so embrace where you are right now in essence, and begin to teach, to talk about what you believe you need to learn. This actually is an idea that also comes from A Course in Miracles that says we teach others what we most need to learn. And so this is how I began my business. Oftentimes people, when I share about how I began my practice as a coach, they are very surprised when I tell them that I did not wait to complete all my training as a coach and to be coaching people perfectly before I started coaching. No, I started coaching and using that coaching, each coaching session, to learn about coaching. And I certainly made a lot of mistakes about that. So I was a disaster. I had clients who got very angry when I was coaching them and just ended, a session much earlier just because they didn't like what I said. I made a lot of mistakes. I took sometimes things very personally and got triggered. Okay, I got very hurt by some of the things. And remember, like Brad Pitt was not born a great actor. Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, none of those guys were born masters. They all had to, over the years, learn very specific skills that made a lot of mistakes. So whatever skill that you would like to master or get really good at, understand that it will take some time. But the most important thing is having this attitude of learning, okay, and embracing everything that happens as part of your learning. The next law, it's called the law of communication, which says the more clear, conscious, congruent, courageous, and compassionate you communicate with others, the deeper and more loving your relationships with them. This is one of the reasons why in my workshops and my training programs, I don't teach relationship skills. I teach primarily compassionate communication skills. It's what Dr. John Gottman refers to as the key to lasting marriage. Okay, the ability to communicate with another person from a place of kindness and compassion. This is the key. This is the key that makes relationship and marriage last. All right, this is what this law is speaking about. The next law is the law of coaching. For those of you who are coaches, it says deep, meaningful, transformative change occurs in a person when you connect with them regularly through a conversation that creates ongoing awareness through courage and humility. Okay, this speaks to my own definition of coaching. Creating ongoing awareness with courage and humility is actually the acronym that I use when I'm teaching. And so what this in essence says is that when you create time to regularly connect with another human being at the level of the heart, from a place of just being real, present, authentic, connected, and you're coming from this place of compassion and love. When you do this week after week, deep healing and transformation takes place, not just in one person, but on both people. This is the essence of what coaching is. One of the misconceptions a lot of my students have when they're new to the training is that coaching is like this very, very intense kind of a conversation where you're going to confront somebody and you have to know exactly what to ask. And I don't believe that. I don't teach that. I believe it's more about you sitting down with another person and opening your heart and really also listening to another person from your heart. And then allow the spirit of the moment, the energy of love to guide that conversation. And allow this energy of love and the sense of connection to then really create new insights in the person. That's what ultimately creates a transformation. These new insights, these new awarenesses that are created during the conversation. The sixth law, it's the law of enrollment. And this has to do with whenever you want to either create clients or get somebody to support you or get somebody to follow your advice, which is what enrollment is. And it says all sales happen inside a conversation or a series of conversations where trust and connection are built over time, eventually leading to a mutually benefiting agreement. So, what this basically says is that if you want to sell something, if you want to sell yourself, if you want to ask somebody to marry you, if you want to get an organization to fund your project, if you want to get employed, you must be willing to sit down to have a conversation with somebody, because that's how sales take place. And it may require one or two conversations, but what you really want to do in those conversations is create connections and build trust. Okay, why? Because people buy people from people they trust. That's just really how it works. Okay, so nobody's going to come and offer you marriage over time. Nobody really hires a coach the very first meeting. Normally, it takes a series of meetings. I'm very surprised quite often that whenever I'm running a program or a class and somebody signs up, that the person will often tell me, "Yeah, Gabriel, I've been following your work for the past 5, 6 years." And it's taken 5, 6 years for that person to finally decide, okay, I'm going to enroll in this program. Well, why? Because I've been building that connection through the newsletters, through these conversations. Okay. And so there comes a time where the person feels, okay, I'm ready to do this. And it comes from this place of connection and trust. The seventh law is the law of transformation. Okay. And it basically says you can't change in others what you're unwilling to change is yourself. You cannot take others deeper than you have ever been. Okay. Again, the only reason why Jesus can take us to the Father, Jesus can take us into the kingdom of heaven within, is because he fully inhabited it. Okay. So this is the idea of this law. The eighth law speak about the law of transcendence. And this goes for anybody who's undergoing some like deep transformation and healing within you. This law says our human egos, past trauma, and personal limitations can only be transcended by a power greater than that which created it. Okay, so let's say this thing that we call our human egos, our personalities, as many of you already know, it's a human creation. It's almost like a Frankenstein. It's a product of your DNA, your programming, your society, religion, culture, politicians, television, media, blah 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 blah. It's what normally what Jung will refer to as the collective unconscious, right? And New Thought is referred to as the race consciousness, but it's very limited because it's a human creation. If you really want to transcend these limited aspects of yourself, you need to appeal to something much greater than you. This is why we're constantly in these guided meditations appealing to our higher self, are appealing to our Christ consciousness, to our Buddha nature, our divine essence. Because only that, something that is greater than our own human creation, can actually transform it. Okay, so it's the same thing that that Einstein refers to when he says you cannot solve the problem with the same mindset that created it. Okay, so if you want to solve the problem, you need to appeal to a different mindset. So we appeal then to the way God sees us rather than to the way we see ourselves. That's the essence. And then finally, the ninth law, which is the law of leadership, says a heart leader exists not to create more followers, but to create more leaders who are following their heart's direction. Okay, this speaks to what I was mentioning earlier, that the heart leader's job is not to create followers, but to empower other people, to become an example, okay, to become the embodiment of a very specific set of skills and values or a way of being that is loving, nurturing, caring, compassionate. And then from that space, be able to support other people. Okay. All right, so let's go now into a series of affirmations that we're going to be repeating during our guided meditations. They're designed to help you anchor these awareness that we've been talking about for the past few moments. The awareness of what it means to be a heart leader. I invite you to place a hand over your heart and take a deep breath. And please repeat after me. I now choose to follow my heart and help others do the same. I am a leader of my life and I have the power to change. All my decisions are made from kindness, compassion, and love. I trust my inner wisdom and I am confident in my capacity to lead others. I am strong, kind, and courageous, and I am not afraid to act. My thoughts and emotions positively impact everyone around me. The more I follow my heart, the happier my life and relationships become. Right. Let's anchor this deeper awareness now. Allow them to seep in. Our mental bodies, our physical bodies, our emotional bodies, as we now transition into a guided process to help us attune more and more and more with our inner source of wisdom, guidance, and direction through our connections with our heart. I invite you now to close your eyes and begin to bring the awareness inward, right here, the middle of the chest. For the next few moments, feel your heartbeat. Notice the breath. Letting go of the idea that we're trying to make anything happen. On the contrary, we're not here trying to create or affect any change. Instead, we want to become present to what is already happening. Inside the body. Letting this sacred heartbeat guide us into the present moment, which is the only place that God exists. Letting each breath remind us of our spirit, our essence, that which animates our life. Begin now to intentionally breathe now into that heartbeat, unifying the breath and the heartbeat. As you breathe in and out of the heart, feeling that heartbeat. Allow the head, the neck, and the shoulders to relax. Let go of any unnecessary tension around the pelvic area. So that with every breath, there's more space within your physical body that you can fill with that breath. So that you can also relax into the heartbeat. And notice that the heartbeat, though emanates from the heart, it also resonates throughout the entire body. See, feel, and imagine now that right there, where your hand is, in the heart area, there's a glowing light. Think of it as a small replica of the sun. And with each breath, this light begins to glow and expand. Feel appreciation for the warmth that emanates from you, from the light that shines within. Feel appreciation also for the gift of life, for the heartbeat, and for the breath. As we continue to breathe in and out of the heart and feel this feeling of gratitude and appreciation, feeling the warmth, seeing the light in our hearts, allow yourself to wonder, allowing your mind to follow the heartbeat and the breath to its source. Follow the heartbeat to the heartbeat behind the heartbeat, to the heart behind the heart. Follow the breath. To the source of that breath. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Mother, in the name of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And speaking on behalf of everyone who's present here today, I unify my heart to the infinitely loving heart of God. Knowing that where God is, I am, and that my heart and the heart of God are one. I unify my breath to the holy breath of all life, the beginning and the end, knowing that this breath is the life of God, and that my life is the life of God here and now. My heartbeat and my breath are the heartbeat and the breath of God. My life is the life of God. I accept this. I welcome this. I allow this to be so. Welcoming then into my beingness the loving, creative, and healing sources that right now are harmonizing all my bodily functions, glands, organs, restoring the harmony in my body temple. In the name I am that I am, I declare the life of God is flowing through my veins. The love of God is filling my heart. I am breathing the Spirit of God. And I allow this connection, this vibration, this unity to heal my body, to replenish, restore, re-energize my physical body, mental body, emotional body, spiritual body. It is from this awareness that I declare I accept this unity with God. I accept the healing that is in store for me. I accept the fullness of my humanity. I accept my imperfections. I accept my addictions, my loneliness, my guilt, my shame, my anger, my indecision, my flakiness. I accept it all. I accept my joy, I accept my peace, my love, my tenderness, my genius. I accept it all. I accept my true self, which is my own holy Christ self, my Buddha nature, my Atman presence. I accept it. I accept healing. I accept abundance. I accept prosperity. I accept joy and accept wholeness. I accept this present moment as the ultimate reality and the only place where God truly exists. I accept my divine inheritance and the gifts of heaven. That is who I truly am. I accept the presence of Christ within me. I accept the second coming of Christ happening in my heart, in my awareness, in my consciousness, in my life, in my relationships, and all around me. I welcome this new vibration. I welcome this oneness with my source. Knowing that this is my true self. Knowing that this is what guides and directs my life. Giving my life a new direction. Allowing me to make new choices. From the state of unity, I now declare. I now choose to follow my heart and help others do the same. I am a leader of my life and I have the power to change. All my decisions are made from kindness, compassion, and love. I trust my inner wisdom and I am confident in my capacity to lead others. I am strong, kind, and courageous, and I'm not afraid to act. My thoughts and emotions positively impact everyone around me. The more I follow my heart, the happier my life and relationships become. This is my truth, and I know it's so. Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to be here today and to offer our hearts in service of the world. As we open our hearts and share and radiate our compassion out to everyone around us, we do so knowing that giving and receiving are one. The more we share and radiate this light, which is thy light that flows through us, the more that light lifts us up, creating the conditions for greater health, wellness, prosperity, and abundance and joy. We let our hearts be the new gospel of love. We let our hearts now go out to the world and bring healing to those places that most need it. We let the compassion from our hearts flow out everywhere where there's pain, where there's suffering, where there's struggle. We let this be, we let this flow. Letting love do what love does. Love heals. Love comforts. Love nurtures and supports. Feeling infinitely grateful for the many blessings of our lives. Feeling thankful for the miracles that every day taking place all over the world. May these blessings go out all over the world to our friends, our family, our loved ones. And be multiplied as much as heaven's law will allow. That God and Christ may be glorified in every heart of humanity. For the glory of life itself, and the glory of the kingdom of heaven that lives within each and every one of us. And so it is, and it is so. Amen. We now take a moment to ask our hearts, which is to ask your true self. If I took 10% more responsibility for my happiness, what would I need to start doing differently? if I took just 10% more responsibility for my happiness, what would I do differently? What would I start doing, stop doing, or continue to do? Everyone is a leader, I believe. Whether if we accept it or not, the truth is that we all have the possibility to transform and change our lives and change the course or our direction in life. And then as a result, begin to have a completely different experience. But that requires not only just a shift of perception, but it also requires the choice to do so. All right, my beautiful friends, we're coming now to the end of our time together. So as we're wrapping up, let me ask you, what new insights, realizations, or awarenesses are you taking away with you? Or perhaps it's just a feeling. I love it if you feel called to share it with the rest of us here by typing it in the chat, if that feels right. Some beautiful comments are coming up. John is sharing, stop trying to fix yourself. Yeah, John, there's nothing to fix. Nothing to fix. It's like the caterpillar saying, I need to fix myself. No, you just evolve and grow into your next level. That's it. There was nothing wrong with the caterpillar. Caterpillar was just designed to get you this far, but you all know that to get you to where you go to next, you have to grow. So it's not about fixing. I would say it's more about growing, evolving into the next version of you. Shelley says she's feeling very peaceful. Priya says, I feel calm and positive. Amanda, hello Amanda. She says, love to everyone. Thank you, Gabriel. Ellen speaking about forgiveness. Yeah. One of the ways to liberate yourself and to liberate other people as well. Mary reminds us, love heals all. Another beautiful meditation. Thank you, Gabriel. You're welcome. Priya says, I feel very relaxed. Ellen says, namaste, baby. Namaste, baby. Back to you. Shelley says she feels peaceful. Terry, hopeful. Shelley says, that was truly beautiful again. Thank you. We'll love that as a separate meditation. Yeah, absolutely. You can come back here and just, we normally start the meditation around the halfway mark. So just go into 30 minutes into the replay and you can do it again. Hello, Emily Freeman, Miracle Girl. Thank you for being here with us. She says, praise more heart, praise more love. Michelina, I'll say it in Spanish. Thank you for another great meditation. You're welcome. Okay, great. Those are beautiful comments, everyone. Thank you. All right, as we're wrapping up our time together, I want to remind you that we'll continue on this theme of heart leadership. And next week, I'm going to share some stories. So next week is a story time. And we'll be sharing some powerful stories that from my own journey. My journey or on the path of heart leadership. Okay, that will be next month. A really wonderful way to wrap up the month on this topic. I want to remind you, in case you arrived a little bit late, that you still can download my free Heartstart 2023 guide. It's available to download on my website. And please subscribe to this video, this channel, if you haven't already done so. You can also subscribe to receive notifications and be notified a few minutes before we go live. And then finally, if you find my guided meditations, weekly Heartstreams, and free offerings useful, I more than welcome your donations. They not only support this work, but also support an organization that is supporting or helping heal children who have been sexually abused. All right, my beautiful friends, thank you so much. Oh, there's a comment here. I liked it. I just caught it on the corner of my eye. It's from Seeing This Heart. It says, I am the captain of my ship. I just need to claim it for myself, be on it with myself, and do what brings me joy. Yeah, this is the power of affirmations and declarations, that they are a way to begin to claim, your capacity to create, to claim your destiny, to claim really the divine gift, to claim, as A Course of Love would say, your divine inheritance. All right, my beautiful friends, thank you once again for hanging out with me today, for lending me your ears and your beautiful hearts. I hope you're walking away feeling uplifted, more connected to yourself, to your own source of love, wisdom, and power. And I look forward to seeing you again next week, where we'll continue on this path of heart leadership. Until then, please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye-bye for now. Thank you for joining me in this week's Heartstream. I hope you're walking away feeling more connected to yourself and your divinity, to the planet, to others, and to all of life. Please be sure to subscribe so that you can receive notifications about upcoming broadcasts. And if you would like to sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, or register for my upcoming trainings and seminars, be sure to visit my website, gabrielgonsalves.com. Until the next time, please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye for now.